My name is Chris Hollett. I'm the owner of Jiffy Cabs. I've been the owner since August when my father passed away. I've been involved in the company indirectly, not in the management side of things, but since I believe 2 or 3 years ago, before he passed away. So, I was working directly with him. He had many projects besides Jiffy Cabs. He was working out in Buren to try to revitalize the community, kind of in a way that Trinity has done. There were so many different projects, the art gallery, the cafe, the exhibition hall, Paddy Shed, Smuggler's Cove. All these are business and concert events and venues that he had envisioned in his head that would have contributed to the revitalization of Buren, which is what I'm trying to do as well. I'm not as hands-on and I won't be able to do it as big as he obviously did, but we all got a piece of him. He was quite the visionary. Everything was rolling through his head. For him to think this is all straight out of his idea. He didn't execute anything, but he paid people to do exactly what he wanted, and this is the makings of it. Anyways, he kept pushing the opening date further and further, as he took on more work and more work, but we're gonna try to get something going here.
Hi, my name is Lisa Walsh, and I'm a skincare manufacturer. My hometown is Beta Verde, which is where we are right now. I started out as a hairdresser when I was 18, and I love the beauty industry. I've always wanted to be in that industry since I was 12. I've been making tinctures and infusions since I was like 7 or 8 years old with my grandmother and my Aunt Sheila. And as I progressed through the beauty industry, I became very allergic to the aromas of the chemical. So I decided to make my own product and make a change for my life and my company. And so I shut down my salons and I did some research on becoming a manufacturer, skincare manufacturer, and that's what I do right now with chemical-free ingredients. Hi Edie, it's Lisa. Cynthia gave me your number. I just wanted to touch base with you about the Wishes and Dream Cream from Indigena. I'm here now with, we're doing our plan for the year, and I'm trying to get this ready for your gala.
My name is Judith Bobbitt, and the company is called Oceans Limited. Well, I created the company about 37 years ago. Basically, I'm a physical oceanographer, and I'm a very independent person. So I wanted to be able to plan my own types of research, and the best way of doing that was to create a private company. And so right away I hired a couple of people to help me with sea work, and we started working for the oil industry. That way back in early 1980s. Well, I went to school at Sir George Williams, done an honours physics degree, and then I went to McGill. I didn't plan on going to McGill. I tried to go to UBC. I had to go into oceanography, but they wouldn't take me because they said I was female and couldn't work at sea. So I wasn't allowed to go there, so I had to go the back door route. So I went into McGill under ice physics and then got transferred over to the Marine Science Center. So I did oceanography and I did ice physics and I did meteorology while at McGill. So I did it in 3 different disciplines. I was there for a few years doing that. But it paid off in the long run because now I had this multidisciplinary training. So when I started my own business, we do weather forecasting, we do oceanography, we measure icebergs, and we do biomonitoring. I also, when I was at McGill, because I was in Marine Science Center, I had to do fish biology and everything because our chairman said if you worked in the ocean, you had to know everything, which was good planning. At least it worked for me. This is our iceberg sonar that we made. It's a new sonar for measuring icebergs. Okay. That you lower it down from a ship, just let it lower, and it just measures the depth of the iceberg, but we go around the berg so it gets shaped too.
My name's David Primmer. I currently own and operate 2 panizzas with a 3rd one under construction. I own the 5th Ticket on Water Street, which is a restaurant and piano bar, and I'm involved on a corporate level with Panizza too, with a small ownership stake in the overall franchise. It started off with a little lottery win back in 2014. Basically, I was working at United Rentals. Had a sales team there that we played into a lottery pool every week, played for about 6 months, and then the 8 of us hit it big with $30 million. For me, I was 27 years old, I was single. I couldn't retire off that much money because I would just spend it every day. So I decided to jump into the entrepreneurship pool and go with a little bit of a dream and open up a restaurant, even though I'd never worked in one. So a lot of people thought it was a bad idea. The backstory behind that, though, was 2 days before I won the lottery. My friend David was driving me to the airport in St. John's to go back to Labrador. We were talking about what we wanted to do with our careers. He's in acting, I'm in business, and he asked me what my next steps were, and I said, I want to open my own business. But the thing about opening my own business is I don't have the capital to do that right now. I have an idea for a restaurant, don't know how to finance it because banks don't really finance it, especially independents. So I said to him, I was like, the only way I could open a restaurant right now is if I won the lottery or something. 2 days later, that happened, and David called me, and I forgot about that conversation entirely, and he tells me, say more things, man, because what you say happens. So I couldn't ignore that sign. I'm not a big signs guy in life, but I couldn't ignore that sign that was thrown at me in that way. So I decided I'd get some bad karma if I didn't try to at least open a restaurant, and here we are today. So this is Lacey.
Hi.
My general manager in Godsend.
Godsend.
She's very talented at her job. Probably assigning seats right now to reservations.
Yeah.
My friends come to town and they think they can just like show up to the restaurant.
What's the number or name?
Ryan Pelly.
He's already got a reservation for 2.
Okay, you know what? I knew he was going to do that, so I put him in. But I put him at 6:30.
Okay, so he's changing to 8:30?
Yeah,
That's amazing because I don't have a good table for him.
I just put it in there because I knew he was going to do this to me. So
That's funny.
and it's going to be 3 people at 8:30.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, I'm Andrea Stack, Chair of the St. John's Board of Trade, your go-to place for business solutions. At the Board of Trade, we're interested in growing our economy, creating jobs for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, growing incomes and our communities. To learn more about immigration and the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Project, please visit gov.nl.ca/immigration.
This portion of Entrepreneur Nailed has been brought to you by Hickey's Timber Mart, Big Red Electric, Endrine Kitchens,
Hickey's Timber Mart for all your home construction and renovation projects, offering fast next-day delivery and Air Miles Reward Miles too. Hickey's Timber Mart, Harbor Main, CBS, and Torbay Road.
Hi, my name is Erin Littlejohn. I am the owner-operator of Boolis Morsels Dairy and Egg Free. My product is guaranteed dairy and egg free and became out of my own dairy allergy and egg sensitivity. I really wanted to get my product readily available to my customer base, and I really didn't know how to go about it. So I contacted the YMCA and met with Leslie. Instantaneously, I knew Leslie would be that changing pivotal point in my business. Since I met with her and through her guidance and support, I've managed to get 5 of my products at Coleman's on Newfoundland Drive with hopes to expand it to other locations. I really recommend this program to anyone with a business idea, a budding business, or a business now that you want to expand. It's been crucial and unmeasurable in my business.
So it was August 27th of 2016, and it was just a Saturday. He was going on, they were doing a Joanna's run, I believe, with the Heritage Riders. I'm not sure if that's the name of the run. They might have changed it for that year, last year. Either way, it was a big bike run down in the Burin Peninsula where they go all around, and Dad had events planned, like concerts and stuff planned all weekend. So he was running himself pretty ragged. And so everyone went out on Friday night and had a good time. And the next afternoon, Dad and my sister got up, normal day out in Burin, beautiful sunny day, perfect day for the ride, and they went on. And they went with him and I believe Cocker Dunn, one of our dispatchers over at Jiffy Cabs. He rides a bike. So he was down there for the weekend as well, and they both went out, and they were going to meet up with the run. So the run was going one way around the loop, and then he was going to go down the opposite way with Cocker and meet up with them. And on the way down, with my sister on the back, he just suffered a massive heart attack. went off the road, didn't even hit the brakes, so there was no accident. He wasn't swerving to avoid anything. This is all, I wasn't there, so this is all stuff that I'm told. So he, swerved off, well, didn't swerve off the road, just guided the bike down off the shoulder of the road. People say in a way to protect my sister, because she ended up walking away. She didn't walk away, but she only had a broken leg and, you know, some trauma, I guess, because she doesn't really remember the accident. And I mean, I was here in town and, you know, none the wiser. I was talking to Dad on Friday and we had a good talk on Friday. We were in a fight that week, but we talked on Friday and everything was fine. And I was gonna come see him then later next week or whenever he was done with his run. And then I got a call saying that he was in the accident from Cocker, because he was there, like he saw it all. And so he gave me a call and said, your dad's been in an accident, your sister was on the back. And I was like, are they both all right? And he said, yes, your sister, she might have a broken leg. Your dad's not, he's unconscious, but he's breathing still, breathing heavy. So I was like, instantly, you go right to the worst case scenario that, you know, he passed away, even though that wasn't the case at the time. So I had to try to get myself ready and get stuff together, because I didn't know what was going on. I tried to get ready for the day, and then he called back about a half an hour later and said that he passed away. So my whole life changed.
We're mainly a service company to the oil industry, so we have our clients in the oil industry, and that's been there for years. For instance, since the early days, we had contracts for dual oceanography for Petro-Canada. We still have contracts with Suncor. So for 37 years, they have been our client. So that's a big help. We have a lot of contracts with Husky Energy. Again, that's great, because they're basically where support and where our money comes from to support the company. International competition is difficult, though, and the reason for that is that keeps our prices low, because they have lots of money and they undercut drastically at sometimes. So for instance, in weather forecasting, it's very difficult because they come in low prices. So the only way we can survive is we have to be better, and we are. When we build instruments, we have our own pressure chamber for testing the cases. That for down we can test to a 500 meters, 750 psi. So, and over here, this is the one we're working on. This one got damaged. This is the telemetry buoy here. This is the bottom part, and that's the superstructure on it for the telemetry buoy that translates the data and transmits it.
How much does something like that cost?
Oh, we build that ourselves. Yeah. Well, we buy parts and then put it together. After you've done the first one, then you get it working, then it comes cheaper. Back in the 1980s, it was quite easy because there was more support then. We had government programs where you could work for the federal government on contract basis and stuff. That got eliminated after that. But in the initial days, it was easy for companies. Later on, there was very little support, and so it became more difficult for entrepreneurs. And so for particularly the last 15 years, it's been extremely difficult because because we created a research company, and all government research dollars these days goes to the universities, and makes it very, so one of our competitors these days is the universities, which is really not good. So the private sector has been very difficult.
This portion of Entrepreneur Nell has been brought to you by Hot Tub Pros, Canadian Energy, and Home Shield Insulation.
Hey, this is Dave from Hot Tub Pros. Welcome to our brand new location, 835 Topsail Road, Mount Pearl. Hot Tub Pros, your exclusive dealer for beachcomber hot tubs and spa marvel, the revolutionary all-natural hot tub water treatment. We're excited and are celebrating our new location with an amazing sale event. Ask us about our 6 months, 0 deposit, 0 interest, and 0 payment event. Up to $5,300 in savings. Hot Tub Pros, 835 Topsail Road, Mount Pearl.
Entrepreneur Nell would like to congratulate Massage Ninja on their new business endeavors. Look out for Massage Ninja, mobile massage unit in your neighborhood.
Hi everyone, my name is Saeed. I am the founder of Wildhood Clothing. I'm an immigrant entrepreneur in Newfoundland, Canada. I came in Canada in 2013 from Bangladesh. I always wanted to do something on my own where I can add value to others. So I started this clothing brand in 2016 after getting my permanent residency in Canada. It was not that easy for me to start a business and run this business, but Futurepreneur Canada helped me through mentoring and financing. I highly recommend and encourage young entrepreneurs to reach out to Futurepreneur Canada to make their dreams come true.
The first days of my company, I decided to set up a skincare company, and I wanted to spend time with my family. That was really important to me, still is obviously. So we decided, my mom and I decided that I was going to set up the business out here in Beta Verde, which I was excited about, and at that time I was ready to make that move. So I came out here in the spring and I got all my product ordered, I got everything in, and I was set up in the basement of my mother's house, our family home, and of course then that year we had Hurricane Igor. So everything I bought had gone. There was a flood in our basement, like 6 feet of water. So I decided to move the business then to St. John's, to my home in St. John's. And then I moved to Gander. So the business really moved with me. It was really a kitchen table business for the first few years. 2009 I started in January, did the logo, did the website, started on the products. And then from there it was trial and error. Every product took me approximately 10 months to formulate because I wanted it to be the best it possibly could be. And then I finally settled in 2011 in Topsail. I found this beautiful beachfront property that I knew would be our home. So we're going down to check out the seaweed now. See if there's anything fresh. This is normally where I get my laminaria and alaria and fucus. So we'll see.
I woke up, it was all over Facebook because Labrador City is a small town. Someone in Labrador City had won $30 million on the Lotto Max ticket. So I woke up to about 7 missed calls from my coworkers, just telling me, go check the tickets. Did you even buy tickets? Because I was known to like forget every now and then. What's going on? Where are you? Wake up. The night before, I had a few drinks, so I was a little sluggish and I didn't understand what was happening. I ran out to go outside to check my truck because that's where I kept my tickets, and then I realized I'd left it at my friend's house, obviously, because I was drinking, and I was like, okay. So I went back inside, and I didn't want to go anywhere because I was still a little bit sluggish, and so I went back to bed, and I told my coworkers I didn't buy the tickets. So they were all pretty upset. Got up around 2 o'clock, had some breakfast, called my friend, drove me over to my truck. On the way there, we're joking around. He's telling me, like, I should run you over when you get out and just steal your tickets. And, you never expect to actually be you, but at this point, it's a small town. There's 10,000 people there. Everyone knows there's a ticket up for grabs. I hadn't heard that anyone had claimed it yet, so, the odds kept going up and up and up and up in my own head. And I get in the truck, and when I had woken up that morning, I went and checked the numbers before I went out to look for my tickets. And all I can remember 6 hours later was the first number was 5. So I get in my truck and I start flicking through my tickets, and I get on the 5th ticket and there's a 5 on it. So I know it's like my only shot at winning the pot when I get to the store to check it. So I leave my friend's house and I'm driving down the road, and I normally buy my tickets at this little convenience store called Grenfell, and that was the closest one to there. But that week I hadn't bought it there. So I was driving past, I was like, this is a bad omen, I'm not gonna check them there. So I kept driving for another 10 minutes till I got to a Shell. Get in the Shell, give the girl my tickets, and I'm there at the coffee, I'm there standing with my coffee, and I'm just watching her go to the machine, and she starts scanning them, and the first one is like that noise, like, Dana, like, wrong, and then the second one didn't have a winning number on it, and then the third one had like $2 or something. I was like, just keep it going. And then she gets to the 5th ticket, she scans it, and I'm just looking down and just waiting to hear something, and it's just complete silence. So it doesn't make a noise when you win the grand the grand prize. There's nothing. It just freezes the system. So I was just looking down. It was probably about 30 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. And I'm just looking down. I couldn't even look up because I just didn't want to know and be like just disappointed, I guess. And I look up and the two girls are looking at the screen with their jaws dropped, and I was like, no. So they just look at me, they're like, yup, and dropped my coffee. The guy standing behind me in line with a sandwich had no idea what was happening. And yeah, so that's how I found out. Hence the name The Fifth Ticket is where the story, right?
We'll get them out? Yeah. All right, buddy, thanks. You know, so much of what we do around here comes from passion. And when people ask us what we're passionate about, we tell them. We're passionate about going above and beyond, about big ideas. Investing our time, talent, and passion is what drives us to collaborate and make things happen. Passion brings us together and keeps us looking forward. And why? For our team, our clients, and our community to grow. And for us, that's what it means to brand better.
This portion of Entrepreneur Nell has been brought to you by Freshie, Cooper's Heating Solutions, and Bins on Demand.
How do you get your most out of your relationship with your customers? You talk to them, ask questions. What do they like or not like about your products or services? How did they hear about you? What other products or services would they like to see added? An Enlow advisor can help guide you with the best ways to obtain valuable feedback from your customers. Contact us today at www.enlow.org.
The reason I think that Jiffy stands out from all the rest in Newfoundland is because of just the way Dad built the company and built the number. That he was the first repetitive 72222, so he advertised that to drum people, 72222. You know, like you only need to remember two numbers and you stutter for the rest, kind of thing. He was always insistent on having knowledgeable drivers and friendly drivers. I mean, not to say that other companies don't. But like Dad made that a point. So like that type of legacy, it doesn't wash away when the person in charge passes away. So those type of things are kind of ingrained into the company. And I think experiences that people have had in Jiffy Cabs are positive ones, because as a driver, I used to hear horror stories about other companies and stuff like that. But then I got to think of the other side of the coin. Do people that drive with other companies tell horror stories about mine? So, I like to think they don't. I like to think they don't because, just based on our track record. So that's how I think we do stand out.
Yeah, I do believe that everything happens for a reason, because, even when you do make big mistakes in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's business decisions or career choices, you can take all those things, learn from it, and become a better person. And I think anyone that looks back 10 years will always kind of be embarrassed of the person that they were back then. And that's exactly the whole point, is you've learned from those mistakes, and those things happen for a reason, and they've turned you into a better person today.
Well, I have to work near the ocean. I didn't like the West Coast when I went there, but I didn't like it. So, I like the East Coast. Atlantic is different, and Newfoundland's got lots of water around it. And plus, I grew up at a fishing village, so Newfoundland was good for me. Plus, when I came here, I was very surprised and delighted that there's a very high scientific community here because of the university. So for the population, it's got a lot of scientific people, highly trained here, highly educated here. People don't realize that Newfoundland has such a highly educated people.
I'm here in Newfoundland because my family's here. And I can honestly tell you that in January, I do not like the weather here. I do not like shoveling snow, but my family is here and that's my roots. And, you know, maybe I would travel a little bit if the opportunity presented itself now. But when my mother and father were alive, they meant everything to me. And I just couldn't see myself leaving them. So, you know, we had a great life here, and it continues.
Production support of this program has been brought to you by Concrete Products.